comfort of their own living rooms, covering the latest and greatest news in ARK and the wider survival community, presented by Ross Clark and Jade PG, the Survival Evolved Show! Right, kids, it's Ross Clark and welcome to episode 1, the pilot episode of Survival Evolved Show with me, Ross Clark, and of course, Mr. Jade Plays Games. Let's give him a big applause again, why not? Woo! We're here talking to you about all things live, what's going on, about the world of ARK, ARK 2 and ARK 1. There's lots of things to talk about. There is a lot of things to talk about, Jade, isn't there?
Sorry, what's this show? What? I have no idea what we're doing, my friend. No idea.
The Survival Evolved Show.
It's a show. Of course.
Yeah.
It's the serious show about ARK. The innermost unworkings the devs don't want you to know about. That's what we're doing today.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things to talk about. And good grief, people already in the chat. Wonderful. Hello, everybody. Mr. Hobgoblin, thank you very much for the donation, man. It's very kind of you.
Really? One of my rat bags.
Ah, bless your cotton socks. Bless your cotton socks. So
yeah, ARK, June. Dune is going to be ARK's biggest month ever.
Oh yes. And that is one of the topics we are talking about today. There's a few topics to talk about today, mate. In fact, you're frozen again, crying out loud.
Oh no.
I told you that was going to happen. There we go. Live, the beauties of being live.
So I'm doing my mime.
There we
my
go.
meme.
You're good.
Practicing my mime.
All right, I guess you're going to be on comments then in that case. You're freezing every time I see the comments. So, topics, what we got to talk about? We've got ARK 2, we got ARK 1, we got Fjordur. Let's start off with the brand new news that's been happening today, which is, GDC. There was a thumbnail.
GDC, yeah, they're on it. The devs are showing off that they're basically looking for more people to come and join them.
That's right.
To work on future projects.
Yeah.
And of course, we know that is ARK 2.
Mm.
That's pretty big in the game. Like normally, so GDC, for the uninitiated, is the Game Developers Conference. Happens more or less every year in San Francisco. And the majority of the world's elite gaming makers go and basically get drunk together, have breakfast, come up with ideas for games, chat to each other, and basically learn from all sorts of talks that go on. Normally, it's a bit of a techie thing. Normally, it's a bit of a game dev thing that most people don't care about. But in most recent years, ARK have actually used it to reveal a bunch of stuff. They revealed the Nintendo Switch back in the day. I'm pretty sure they revealed one of the free DLC maps back in the day. So they've used it a bunch of times to talk, and have spoken at GDC as well about hype, how to generate hype for your communities in the past. So it's a good fertile ground. I'm not sure, are they talking at this show or are they just advertising for devs?
It's
jobs?
not very clear. It's not very clear at all. It seems that they're literally just advertising for jobs. But what's interesting is what's there. Obviously, it's art to artwork. It's artwork we've already seen. So there's nothing. I've zoomed in as much as I can, and I've looked around, I've peeped and I've popped, and there's nothing there that suggests anything new towards Art 2. But there is
saying that a new pose for old Big Vin. Apparently, he's not been in front of the T-Rex like that. Now, I haven't watched it recently.
Oh, that's exactly in the trailer. In fact, we could even just play the trailer behind us while we're talking. Why not?
Yeah, let's do that.
There we go. Yeah, no, within the trailer, when he meets the Rex, he's right there. There's nothing new. But something was said about it, and we'll get to that one in just a moment. Where is it? In fact, you know what? Let's talk about it right now. Let's go to it straight now. So, coup de course. Dude, to make trailers.
He said he's worked on something there. Now, is he talking about the chairs? Did he put the chairs together?
That's it.
You know,
I spy something I've been working on in the background. I'm thinking he's just alluding to him making Vin Diesel. That's my guess, mate. That we know, and he's already stated this, that he's been busy working on Vin Diesel, which I think actually he deleted the tweet like not long after he tweeted it. I think he was told to take it down. I'm sure. So there's no secret. It's no secret. It's obvious that a new trailer must be being made as we speak. That they're working towards something. 100%.
Yeah. If you don't know, Kudikos is the guy that does the majority of the trailers for Ark, and he's the guy that's done the most recent renders, where you see it's rendered. It's not the same gameplay trailers. Sometimes it's rendered ones, and he's the website manager. He's the guy that started up the forums and organizes all their web stuff and does a bit of promo marketing. So if you hear Kudikos in Ark, and you're always interested who makes the trailers, him and his team of very talented people do that.
He's been with the team since he watched the very, very first trailer they released, and then after that he signed on, and he's been with them ever since. So they've got him for life, it appears, and he's behind the scenes, seems to be working on this new trailer. And
Sandy says he made the crown. That's what she thinks.
The crown? What is
that on Big Vin's head?
The crown on Vin's head? That would make sense, I guess. Maybe.
I don't know,
That was already
I
there.
think that's fake news. Sorry, fake news.
Crown was already there. It's in the thumbnail
Yeah.
of this thing that I grabbed from the original trailer. Hello, everybody. Good grief. There's a lot of people. It seems like I need a moderator in here as well. So I've got a theory on if it is a trailer, when this is going to be released.
Yeah, go on. Hit me. Do simmer.
The big E3 2022, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. June is going to be ARK's biggest month ever.
Absolutely.
And this isn't a loaded crisis clickbait thumbnail. This is actual proper realness. So you want to hit them with why? You do the first reason. I'll do the second reason.
All right, let's look at the timing first. Obviously, originally they announced that it was coming out this year. Now, come on. Come on. It's not going to happen. At this point, there's been nothing released since, which means we're already well into the end of quarter one of the year, which means it's not going to happen. It's going to be out next year. If it's out next year, this is the prime opportunity. E3 2022 is the best opportunity to grab as many people out there as they possibly can with a showcase of Ark 2, whether it's a trailer or full gameplay or any gameplay at all. Really would be great. We yet to know. We yet to even know if it's any of that, but we're hoping it's that. And then my theory is following that, Extra Life will be the big breakdown of a load of Ark 2 details, rolling into the big date.
Big done.
When it's released.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
5 reasons why I've done it recently, why Ark 2 won't be coming out this year. And that one of them absolutely is because they just want to build up more hype. No, because the pandemic has set a lot of people back. They've been working remotely now for 2 years. Yeah. So I imagine that it has affected them. And even though they announced it in the middle of the pandemic, so, they could have put some times on it. I do feel like that's probably the biggest contribution to why they're not going to have it ready. And there's loads of proof for that. Events finish next year. They're not going to finish this year. They're going to finish next year. Yeah. So you've got to have something else there. So, that's it. But big reasons. Number 2, why June is obviously the biggest month. And timing-wise, obviously the last in the Jurassic Dominion movie, Jurassic World, whatever else is out. So a lot of people were kind of hoping that Ark 2 would release at the same time, because technically the first game only came out about the same month or just a little while after the first movie in the revamped series.
That's right, yeah.
But I am sorry to be a poo-poo heads. That's not going to happen this time. They would have been revealing stuff by now. They're not going to stealth drop the game in June just to celebrate the game's launch. So that's the other big thing as well. Like, it's going to be a big talk about Ark dinosaurs. They want to capitalize on it, so it will be for a promotional trailer. Given the release date. And then number 3, we've obviously got your favorite map. What is it called?
Fjordur.
Fjordur.
Let's pull it up. It is by far my favourite map. I really do mean that when I say that. Fjordur is an outstanding map, and I can't wait to see the official version of this and what this is going to actually look like, because apparently it's going to be very, very, very different. That's what we're being told, and we all know the date is June. June is when it's coming. It seems to still be coming in June. There's no mention of a delay yet. But I don't know.
Right, so here we go. First bone of contention. I don't think it'll hit in June.
Well, we've been spoiled. Now. Lost Island was on time. So
it was. I know everyone's like, oh, you can't say that anymore, Jay. They hit it.
Absolutely.
But I'm pretty sure the dude is still working on it, or he's only just handed it over. And from what I know, it usually takes about 6 months for them to port a map over. And apparently Fjordur's got the biggest amount of different mechanics in it that the map has seen. Teleporting to other realms, 4 new creatures, whole new ways to play. And I can't imagine that's going to be the case. I think we're going to see that delayed until maybe sort of October.
Well, for those that don't know, what are the 4 new creatures, Jade?
They are
Do you remember
obviously the Fenra, the Fenris,
Fenrir.
the Fenrir.
Mate, I have. It's taken me so long to try and nail the pronunciation. I'm pretty sure it's Fenrir, but yeah. Go on, sorry.
Fenrir. Fenrir. That's it. I'm done. No idea. Not a clue. The Amargasaurus, we had that one already.
Yeah.
No, the cartoon show. The big Carno's brother.
The big Carno's brother, the Carcharodontosaurus. See, that one, that's the anomaly, because that's apparently not going to be released at the same time as Fjordur. That's what they've said. Whether it's before or after, we don't know. It's looking like it's going to be after at this stage, because there's been nothing revealed about it. But yeah.
What if they finally gave the centre map a unique dinosaur?
Oh, yeah, right.
That would be amazing.
I would love
it.
And
that would make
rejuvenate,
people play.
Rejuvenate centre, absolutely, mate. But no. So you've got the Desmodus Draculae, the winged beast flying around, Batman. And the Fjordhawk, which I'm really interested in. The fact that it can fly away and grab your gear from when you've died. I'm really looking forward to that one. And the Andrewsarchus, a turret-mounted 360-degree gun on its back that I'm really looking forward to.
And that's the boar. That's the daddy pig, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to have daddy pig. Then we've got the Deinonychus. It's Deinonychus. No. What's the pig that heals you now?
Oh, the you threw me off with your random names. The Daedon.
Oh, mate, I've forgotten. There was a time when I knew every name of every creature just like that. I'd say them wrong, but I knew them.
Yeah.
But no, my old brain's addled. But yes, so we've got that one. We need, that's a good one. Yeah, that's pretty big. So June's a big month. Okay?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
imagine nothing's been negative. Fjordur comes in June. We get a release date of 2023 for Ark 2. We get a reveal telling us that the Ark Survival Evolved TV show is about to go live later on that month on HBO, Netflix, or whatever the hell it was. Did you find out exactly what it was?
Well, before we jump onto that, mate, I was just going to mention Fjordur. So we've just found out that stuff is still being made for the map. Nakata's put out a tweet saying he just wants to mention that he's completed the most beautiful cave he's made so far. Which is wow. I thought at this point we'd be wrapping up.
I swear he said that's the one that's for another project.
Well, normally with his tweets, he always says this isn't related to Fjordur, but with this one, he didn't, which makes me believe this is related to Fjordur.
Oh, maybe.
Which means new caves, which is crazy because there's so many caves on the map already.
I've not visited, not once. Have I gone into it? I'm getting back into Ark. I know people think I don't, but I'm getting back into it a little bit, and I'm getting used to Lost Islands at the moment. And I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave Fjordur until it's actually done. I'm not going to go and do gameplay on Fjordur, even though it's not finished. I'm going to wait.
Absolutely. Well, Nakatis has even said, though, for people who have fully played the map, there will still be plenty of new stuff. It's going to feel like a new, refreshing map to even them, which I'm really excited about because, I'm one of those.
That's good. That's good. Hopefully they treat him, because I know he was pretty pissed. He was pretty pissed with the changes they made for Valguero.
Yeah.
And at the time, I distinctly remember reading that he wasn't going to work with him again, or along them lines of that, it was a bit of a process. So I was extremely surprised when Fjordur got announced as the next map that would be available. So it goes to show his craft, like to make a map that the devs love so much twice. Is pretty good.
You mean everyone, but it was the community. I think the community was so outspoken about it that, I don't think the devs had much of a choice about it, mate. That it had to be done. Fjordur was the natural winner. Yeah.
That's the interesting thing about modding maps. Over the years, we have been spoilt by the free content that ARK has been given basically, and it's always kept players interested as well. It gives something extra hype. If you can't always pay for the DLC, not many games give that amount of free content. I will always applaud Wildcard for that. That is something they've done pretty well, is giving content to players. But
Absolutely, yeah.
Some of the maps haven't always delivered, or in fact, there's only a few maps that have ever actually been completed. Like from the modders' perspective, and I understand why they don't get paid consistently for it. And,
Yeah.
you know, they'd be lucky to get in the program. Although that is another thing that Wildcard have done miles better than anyone else. The sponsored program has been a fantastic reward for some modders to be part of. I know some of the modders that made stuff were a part of that program for months, so they got $4,000 each month just to do something they would have done for free.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, like there is. I think we all get a bit overhyped about the next big modded map, like Titan recently, or what's that other one, the latest one?
Irion, I think it's pronounced. Irion, yeah.
And it is nice to get hyped, but please stop believing the Loaded Crisis bait. It's not coming to Ark. It's in Ark already. It's not coming to Ark.
Yeah.
It's in Ark already on PC.
The odds. There's been so many sponsored maps over the years, and sadly, yeah. I couldn't.
There is. I remember back in the day, was it Thieves Island or Thieves Cove? Wow. That was a good one. I did showcases of them all, thinking that they might all come one day. There was so many different ones. I guess obviously Ragnarok, the devs are still working for Wildcard, I presume. So I guess they're part of whatever's going on with Ark 2. They're all busy away. So I haven't seen any news. Any of them really talk too much on social media. They've all gone a bit quiet.
Yeah, which is a great segue into the next subject, mate, actually. That, it was neither confirmed nor denied, but there was some illusion surrounding mod support with Ark 2, and I've got the wrong tweet. I thought this was the one. But there was something that was said regarding that it sounds like there might be mod support for Ark 2. And, I mean, come on, it's a taken for granted thing, I think, at this stage, how beneficial mods have been for Ark 2 and vice versa.
Would I get people a bit excited and maybe wet their pants a little? That actually there is an outside possibility that mods might come to Xbox in the future too.
Wow. Okay, that's news.
Xbox has been working on it for about a year and a half now. There's been development rings in their alphas and beta preview programs where basically you have native access to the Xbox Windows storefront.
Yeah.
And when you have that and you can play Windows storefront games on your Xbox, it means that you will be able to access things like mods and stuff. And we know that Steam and Xbox Microsoft getting a bit cozy. Steam are seemingly supporting the Games Pass on the Steam Deck, the latest handheld Steam device. So you're going to be able to play your Xbox games on that. There is, and there was another tweet or another reference point recently that it looks like it will be easier if developers want to make it happen to have mods actually available for some of their games on Xbox in the future.
That's good news. Crikey.
It is.
That is, yeah. Wow.
The only thing against that is, of course, that Microsoft will want ways to monetize it, just like they did with Minecraft and the Minecraft packs. But for third-party games, which Ark still is, they haven't been bought out, as far as we know, by anyone.
Yeah.
It is a possibility. So it's never on an Xbox One. You're never going to see a full-blown mod system like you have with Skyrim or with Fallout on a regular Xbox or PlayStation at the moment. That costs millions. People wonder why we can't just have the mods. But you've basically got to convert them because they just don't run the same way. They utilize different technologies and delivery systems, and it just wouldn't be. It's not just a case of flipping a switch. But in the future, that might be a bit easier to have. But yeah, mods would be amazing. But I've always said, why don't Wildcard just sell us a £10 cosmetic package filled of some half creations, new ones made by Echo Mods or something along them lines. That's what they need. That's what they need to do. So maybe that's all going into Ark 2. I'm sure they're going to have better ways to monetize. It does look like the traditional season pass is dead in games nowadays. You don't generally buy maps in COD. You just get the free maps and then you pay for guns and shizzle.
And that's the thing, mate. Live service models, that is all the rage nowadays, isn't it? Everybody's jumping on those and offering you half a game, quarter of a game starting out, but we're going to throw in stuff as we move on. Could Ark 2 go down that road? Possibly.
I hope. They've said they don't like doing MTX in the past because they never really knew how to do it, how to implement it. They weren't free-to-play specialists. But I think there's a middle ground. It's not having 200 spears that glow neon pink that you can buy for skins or whatever, or you can make a dinosaur look like, a yellow Mr. Blobby or something like that. It's more a case of having special packs they'll release every now and then that will give some cosmetic skins for some of your dinosaurs, and doing it as a pack rather than like a shop.
Yeah, it's and NFTs. Do we dare discuss NFTs? The possibilities, lest we forget.
No, we're keeping it. We'll leave that one for another time.
For another day.
Because I will start losing my shit at Doug, and I'll have a lot of ARK moderators upset that I dared called him some old boring geezer. But no, we'll leave that another time.
Yeah.
We're hype. We're positive. We're going to be positive about June. June's biggest month ever. The last time we had this kind of month, it was announced that Primitive Plus and the Center Map would be coming to ARK. That was the last time something like this happened, where it was such a big month where we had a bunch of different reveals and stuff. So yeah,
absolutely. And this is the one. I could bet money on it. This is going to be the month where we are going to find out information at this point. I'm so sure that we are going to hear so much about Art 2 during that month. And of course, combined with Fjordur, June is going to be the month you are going to want to be in the know about ARK if you want to know anything about ARK, without a doubt. Speaking again about Art 2, so there's a tweet, Craig Brown. They was talking about, in fact, let's go back a bit. So said, Mr. Complex Minded, League Community Manager, put out a tweet asking what people's top 5 creatures for Art 2 were. Could be just a thing, just discussing. Could be just general interest on what people want in Ark 2. Furthermore, that we may be seeing, and it kind of makes sense, seeing creatures from Ark 1 in Ark 2. So yeah, like obviously a load of people have been responding with all of their ideas.
Yeah, I saw some players. Someone said they didn't want fantasy creatures in it. Yeah, and I always felt like actually, some of the creatures they did add, I always felt like they would be actually a DLC. Like imagine a more fantasy land, something a bit like Crystal Isles that had your unicorns on it, that had maybe bosses like the Manticore, that had more of that aspect of fantasy. That always felt like that could have been a better way to do it than just have one-off fantasy creatures. Yeah, but I'm not too against that though, to be honest. What you could have.
Well, it appears that we may be having fantasy creatures for sure, because Craig Brown didn't slip up. He said, I can neither confirm nor deny the Maywing for Ark 2, but I am saying that they exist on the Gen ship, which means they exist in universe. So it's not impossible. As we know, Craig Brown, he's dying to share some information regarding Ark 2. This could be him just throwing that out there. Or it could be a red herring.
They've known to do that. Jat has personally tripped me up a bunch of times on that in the past, alluding to stuff, and then it doesn't happen. But the one thing with dinos, and everyone's going to, I presume, agree, is they've got to have uses, right? You said it in your tweet, like, don't have some of these dinosaurs because they're useless.
Yeah, they're redundant, yeah. Absolutely.
So I think sometimes you're never going to be able to have over 150 creatures and have them all in use. But there is definitely way too many metas that rely on just the top 10. So they should make it absolutely that some caves you can only go in with that creature. Or do you know what I mean? Like have a real don't have to have abilities on them that are so vastly different from everything else.
Yeah.
But make it that literally size-wise, or you need them for their one ability they can do, that absolutely you need that creature in there. So maybe you need the monkey baboon boy monkey to take you up, but you also need him to hold a weapon or a gun in his hand for a second while you activate a doorway or something, or a crystal that shines a light on a door that opens up the dungeon to the artifact. Wildcard, if you want to hire me as a content creator and dev maker, I'm all ear.
Just wanted to mention, I've seen a bunch of people asking questions and raising comments, but we will go through those in a moment.
Save them. Save the questions.
Save the questions, and we'll
Yes.
definitely go through those. Hello, Aaron. You're right, mate. And TLC, crikey, there's some players in here.
There's a
tonight.
bunch of decent people in
Wow.
here. Absolutely fantastic people.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, Maywing, big possibility.
Yeah.
It's what else we got? That was.
I mean, if you go through the list, we know the T-Rex, the feathered T-Rex, or is this what we're doing now? Are all dinosaurs going to look like they're meant to look?
Absolutely. It's. I think there's going to be some element to it.
Artistic license.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll change some of them, or they really are going to make sure they've all got feathers?
Maybe. It's. I think because we're going to some fantasy world setting, there has to be some sort of theme surrounding that. Look at how they progressed and how that changed creatures like aberration creatures, for instance. They all had a theme to them, didn't they? I think we're going to continue that within this new world. I think they'll stick to that.
And we're presuming that the ship has crash landed and it's spread the dinosaurs, and over how many hundreds of years or thousands of years, it's populated this planet. But obviously there could be creatures on this planet already.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you're right there that this is set like far into the future. I think Ark 2 is compared to Ark 1. I'm sure I've read that somewhere. I hope I haven't got that wrong. So you're right. That could exactly be the case. That's what's happened. And
so you could have tentacle creatures. You could have a T-Rex with 6 legs.
Ooh.
What about a Cerberus type of creature, like a dinosaur with 3 heads?
Well,
one breathing fire, ice, the other one just chomping on people.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because Cerberus obviously is in Atlas. Atlas has mechanics which was all created by Wildcard. I know they made a separate studio for it, but it was Ark and Ark through and through, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be some influence from Atlas to Ark 2. I know a lot of people are against it, but how they use that open world server, map mechanic.
Yeah, I think it's
something
been
there.
Yeah, for sure. There was a test bed from. I think it gets expensive running the type of servers that they've got at the moment, where you have hundreds and hundreds. And although it's still the same situation, I think technology is evolving that you'll be able to run a whole instance of shards on much cheaper, much easier software and hardware. So that, it will be a world that you'll just load into, and different realms, different continents, maybe. I mean, I hope so. Otherwise, if it is exactly the same deal where you just have mega tribes going from server to server, wiping people out, like, I don't know. It's if you all share a world and there's a way that you can look on a map and you see like a heat map, and it shows that, like Atlas used to, that there's a big concentration of people in one area. Yeah. Imagine everyone deciding just to rock up and go and see what's going on, or like tribe up alliance stuff. That would interest PvP,
and that would fit and suit the live service models that's going on right now. Having those live events that are dropping in.
Yeah.
It's a good guess. I hope to. Personally, I hope to see it. I know a lot of people have got their own expectations of it. What amazes me more than anything is how many people believe that we've got a sequel that's overriding Ark 1, and there's so many people that are still holding on to the Ark 1 is going to be abandoned. It has to be. Like, lest we forget, it came out we got nearly 7 years ago now. Originally Unreal Engine 3, I think. And technology has moved on.
It was one of the first ones on 4. They updated just before the release.
Right, cool.
They did get it out.
And, and technology has moved on so far since then. All you got to do. Why would you? Yeah,
you just don't need to support an old game. Like, I'm sorry, people, but come on now. I mean, at least it's not Ark 7, because we've had 7 different Ark games over the years that have all been exactly the same, but they've added 4 new dinosaurs. That's what they could have done with the DLCs. Effectively, that is what they've done, really.
Yeah.
We've had some gaps in between some of them big paid money DLCs, but they have effectively added 6 or 8 new dinosaurs, and you've played a new map. So I guess maybe it is the way they've done it. But Ark, the servers going off is the biggest clue.
Yeah.
The events. And then we'll get more announcements as we get closer to Christmas that they're going to be migrating servers because population is too low. And then at some point, once Ark 2 is out and has been out for a few months, possibly if the PlayStation announcement comes when it's going to be released, that's when I expect him to say, right, we're going to be winding down servers completely.
Yeah.
We're going to be shutting off the only like the bare minimum, keeping some PvE servers running, some PvP servers running. But yeah, I reckon by the end of 2023, the majority of official servers will be gone. They'll give you the option to rent them out, but a lot of the official servers will be dead.
And that's it. They need to repurpose them, like exactly what they did with Legacy. The move from Legacy to official. Eventually they die out. They repurpose them. I assume, going into it, they won't close off any servers for Ark 1 initially, but they will get repurposed as time goes on.
Yeah, unless of course, like I said, the technology is different. So if they're doing this through cloud and stuff like that,
true. Yeah.
then there is a possibility that it doesn't. They're just saving because they have to pay for their servers. They don't get them for free. So all the Trado servers that they officially use for the official ones, they get a discount, but they do pay Trado a lump sum every month to have them servers supported.
Absolutely, yeah.
So why would you have that running if you want people to go and play your new game? Business sense, it just doesn't make much sense. The only examples of that in the past are games like COD, where you can still go and boot up Modern Warfare 2 or whatever and play on some online servers. But that's because literally, you've still got hundreds of thousands of people playing some of them games on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
And Ark's popular, but it doesn't have hundreds of thousands of people.
No.
Probably on an average, on a weekly basis, it probably has close to around 200,000 to 300,000 across all platforms, like regularly playing all week long. Because you can see by their peaks. Their peaks now are like 40k views, 40k players on Steam.
It's on a bit of a downturn at the moment, compared to previous months. Yeah. But hype's, picking back up. Fjordur hype's kicking out, which I think on the subject we're going to be seeing Fjordur stuff very, very imminently.
What happened to the community crunch? I thought they were going to be showing some stuff Friday.
Nothing, nada, not a beam.
Not even a sorry message.
I didn't even do a video on it. There was nothing to. There's nothing to talk about.
You should have just done 30 seconds of just nothing.
Yeah, just sat there, just
a lake on Valguero. Or I've been watching Dread Gamer recently. He's an Ark tuber. He set up a second channel where he's got ambient Ark settings.
Yeah,
and all it is literally just an hour of being in the bioluminescence zone, and they got the sounds and the creatures rustling by to help you fall asleep. That's what you should have done for 15 minutes and put 20 ads in it, just like loaded clickbait, just to get that a maximum revenue.
Well, what about PlayStation 5 enhancement? We might see that before Ark 2.
Yeah, for Ark 2.
Maybe.
No, we'll see it for Ark 2. We won't see it for Ark 1.
It's gone. 2. It's out the window now at this point. You're not going to see it.
It baffles me why they just won't say anything. Just say they've run into a technical issue. That's all it needs. Yeah. It could be a lie. Just lie and just say.
I get it. Problems. I get it to an extent, but it's marketing team. Sometimes they haven't got it right. There is a rule, isn't there? In the game dev team game that you can't admit mistakes.
You never, and Ark have never done that.
No,
they've barely ever done it.
No, it's just I get it. I do get it, but come on.
Actually, no, that's a lie. They have done that. They've done that so many times. That's probably what makes them so different. The announcement a week before the full game was releasing that they was going to wipe servers, and then they weren't going to wipe servers.
Yeah,
that's it. But PlayStation 5 players playing Ark though. What is it you want most from an enhancement? Is it 120 FPS possibly, or is it extra 4K? What is it?
The big one is tetherless. People are dying for tetherless gaming.
Is that the thing that Xbox has at the moment with the Series X and S?
See, there's a bit of ambiguity with it because I heard they got rid of tetherless on Xbox, but I'm hearing it's back. I'm not 100% sure on that, mate. I'm really not. But
I'll have to boot it up. I've got an Xbox
But by the way, PS5 players still having tetherless issues is it's a bit of a shame at this point. But it doesn't look like it's ever going to change.
That was their excuse that the older consoles couldn't keep up with bit memory allocation, which is valid. It's really important to recognise they're not chatting shit. It does happen when you've got big games like Ark. You can't have everyone doing what they want across the whole map, running just on your Xbox's instance or your PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
But with the new SSDs that load things faster, bigger jumps, the improvements, it should be doable because they're equivalent to a PC, and PC can do it tetherless.
Yeah. Well, speaking of maps that can't do tetherless, Lost Island news on Lost Island, mate. The dev kit is out.
So yeah, all the dev kit stuff from Lost Island. So like, if you wanted to add like the Mayan temples to your creation, you'd be able to do so now. I think that's what you could do. Like, you can go and have a look at it in the dev kit.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've got the dev kit, you can go and load up. You could probably look at some of the caves the creator made of that map. You could do all sorts of that. You could go and take a look at the dinosaurs more.
All of the assets are out there now for you to use, and like, you know, people are already like digging through it to see if there's any secrets. Normally, you know, you do find one or two things out there, but nothing uncovered yet. One of them someone sent me was the Lost Hatch. Are you aware of that? It's an Easter egg on Lost Island that, you know, Lost, the TV series.
Yeah,
The hatch,
loved it.
The hatch is on the map, and like, so someone.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Where?
yeah. I've got a video, plug time, 5 Easter eggs on Lost Island, and I'll showcase it, and I'll link it to Castaway. It's a good video. Pluggity plug. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd seen. I think I
go.
saw a load of Crisis do that one.
But yeah, so that's available. You know, so I don't know if people want to recreate Lost scenes with their hatches somewhere, they can do that now.
That's not a bad shout. I mean,
yeah.
I'd go and check. I'm going to go and check that out. I'm going to watch one of your videos, Raz.
Yeah.
I promise you. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go and watch one of your videos. I might even like it and everything.
That's very kind of you, mate. It's very kind of you. And yeah, so that's it. Dev kit's out. Nobody's found anything. Yeah, I've got people in there digging away, trying to find some secrets, but we've not found anything just yet, mate.
Oh, that used to be me. That used to be me. And the main players that dug into the dev kits were GG Fizz, what's his name? Chrysonis. Chrysonis would do the dev kits.
Oh yeah.
And old Syntaki.
Oh right.
We
cool,
were we were generally the main ones that would like go in there and you know, pull stuff out and try and show stuff like this is coming to Ark. But some stuff never did appear properly. Like the biggest one out of that was the Hive.
Yeah.
That kind of made an appearance with the bugs, but it never actually made an appearance as the actual Mother Hive creature.
That's right.
I'm trying to find a picture of it now. I'll see if I can.
Yeah, send it over, mate.
Yeah,
but we're getting there. We're getting towards question time now, mate. I know the chat's been flying through, and so yeah, big hello to everybody. Good grief, so many people in here.
Yeah, I'm going to send you this picture, and then hopefully you'll be able to show it off.
Yeah,
let's give some love to.
How are we all doing? We're all having a good time. Have you learned anything new? I guess it's the big one. That was the idea of this, to share information. Jay just sent me over something. Let's have a look at that.
Yeah, let's read some. I'll read some questions out. All right, here's some questions, people, while we have a look at this as well. We'll come back to this one picture in a minute as well. So is the Wilson volleyball from Castaway? I'm guessing so. I've seen that Wilson volleyball in about 20 different survival games now, though. Ain't going to lie. Oh, look, it's up from the depths.
There it is.
Did you mess around with that? Did you make that, did you?
The Hive, there it is.
We want questions about June. What do you think is going to be announced in June?
Yeah.
DLC stuff, the ARK'S, the TV show. What is it?
I threw the Hive up. Yeah, that's so that eventually was the swarm on Gen 1?
Yeah, that was the little creatures.
Right, yeah.
But we never actually got the monster,
the
mummy
right,
creature.
The mummy. Got you.
Yeah, because they basically come out of her back. That's where they live inside her back, and they would pop out, and that was how they meant to activate and come get you. But they never added it. That was one of the ones they never did.
Yeah,
and then we did find out some of they also had some tech dinos. They ended up appearing in Gen 2 as simulation. And then the biggest one probably is the Wyvern saddle, which again ended up being basically put into the Wyvern in Ark Gen 2.
The tech Wyvern saddle that became
the Void Worm.
They became the Void Worm / tech Wyvern.
Yes. So that was in there. So that's how long it took. Aaron Longstaff wants to know how you maintain your beard, Roz.
A lot of premeditating. It's all premeditated. This is I don't even know. You in fact, your beard's better than mine, mate. What are you talking about?
Aaron's got a sexy beard. Do you think we'll see map changes to the Ark 2 map like I did on the island with the redwoods and the ice biome?
Oh, it develops over time. Yeah,
yeah.
I'd hope so. And do you know what? That's an enjoyable experience in itself. Like, obviously, you might have seen my video where I covered the original one.
The changes.
And I was through. I missed the initial rollout, but to see like that development and new things drop into the map every month or so was great. It was it was a really fun experience.
It was. It gave content creators something. It gave players something to do. Back in the day, Doug, old baldy Doug, boring Doug, did an interview with a PC Gamer or someone, and basically he was asked whether or not they'd do early access again. And he said, absolutely, we would probably do it for a lot of our projects because it means we have engagement with our community. And I fully expect if we do see Ark, it won't be a complete product. It is going to be a early access title again.
Yeah. Hopefully.
That's maybe why, like we're all saying, oh, Wildcard are rubbish, they've took the money for Xbox. It might be simply down again to PlayStation not willing to have an early access title on their platform.
Yeah. Rock Drakes, will they stay on Fjordur? I would argue yes, because it's the last map. It's a blowout. Obviously, Last Island included so many DLC creatures as it did. All the ones that are on Fjordur, I think they're going to go, you know what, why not? It's the last map. We're seeing out Ark 1 now, why not? Let's just keep them in there, throw it all in there. Yeah. I think it stands.
Yeah, there is a bit of a gap as well. Like some of the maps, you kind of felt like they would add the DLC creatures to that next map. Like Extinction didn't get as many to the map afterwards, which was Valguero.
Yeah.
Or was it, or was it the other way around? Or Aberration didn't get.
Was it both?
No.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you had Rock Drakes on both Val originally and Crystal Isles. Hilariously, Crystal Isles, you can still get Rock Drakes and lay eggs in the nests that are there if you spawn them in wild.
Right.
It's crazy. But yeah, I think so, because especially that Nakatis moved the Rock Drake spawns from one place to another. Why would he do that? Like so late into Fjordur's development, why would he move the Rock Drake spawn area to somewhere else? Unless it was maybe to phase it out. Yeah, that would add up. But we'll see. I'm going to go with yes though. Yeah.
Someone's asked, are all Ark 2 creatures going to be in Ark 2? Presuming yes. Yeah, or are all Ark Gen 2 creatures going to be... This is going to get really tiresome in the future. They should have really come up with a better name. Yeah, I reckon, because it is obviously the ship. It is crash landing on the planet. So you'd assume that the majority of the Gen 2 creatures will be floating around in Ark 2. But we don't know. It's been thousands of years. They've evolved. Remember? That's the key word that everyone cries when I say I don't like tech. Well, it's in the title. Everything's evolving. Shut up. But yeah, maybe a lot of the dinosaurs are going to evolve. They'll be very different, maybe, from what we know now.
Yeah. But again, that you know though, that there's a huge following of people that are very into like paleontology and accuracy in how a creature looks, and that does draw a huge audience to it. I saw a tweet yesterday. Somebody said something along the lines of, Ark has stopped becoming a dinosaur game, and Ced's reply was, well, it was never a dinosaur game. It was a survival game with dinosaurs. But it's a bit of both. I don't know. Like it's one of the biggest. It is the biggest game out there I can think of. Really. When you see go for dinosaurs, you go.
I don't think you can say that. That feels a bit disingenuous because the whole marketing was based on it being a dinosaur game.
Yeah.
And the survival elements in the game are there: cold, food, water, but they're very easily negatable. Like after an hour of playing, you don't ever have to worry about food or water again. Like you've got plenty of ways to craft cans to keep you going, or have plenty of food, stacks of it going. It's not something that becomes something you always have to make sure you've got loads of. It becomes easy to survive. The only danger then becomes dinosaurs. One thing I was going to talk about today, I don't know if it's right for today or next time, maybe more structured, but yeah. I am praying that they take away the ability to speed up your character. like, because
Yeah.
it ruins the experience. The
Grind
amount of
down.
times I've seen yours, other people's videos, like, you can survive and do whatever you want as long as you boost your speed up to just run away from every dinosaur. You should not be able to run away from them.
I agree. As much as we all hate to admit it, we all enjoy that punishing grind. We do. That's why so many people restart so many times. You do enjoy that. And it gives more value to when you've attained, this big alpha status and you've collated all you have because you've worked bloody hard to get there. So, yeah, longing that out is definitely a thing, mate, without a doubt. Question for you, mate. Why don't we see any more roleplay, cosplay pictures or videos?
Because I've not been hitting any targets. Once you get past 100k subs, that's it. It's a barren stretch to the next target. Not unless you're growing really quickly, which I've not been. So yeah, one day when I get to 200k, we'll pull something special out. Although me and Raz might be showing a bit of different type of event soon, won't we, mate?
We will, yeah. I forgot about that.
Don't worry.
How can I forget? Keep it quiet. No, you've made it weird now, man. Like we can share the story quickly.
Can you put on some Careless Whisper music?
I've got all sweaty and red face.
When Jade met Raz in real life.
Yeah, that's about
big
it.
Saxophone playing in the background. The intro to Pornhub.
So, right, moving on.
That's the questions. We've got 3 more minutes.
So, do you think Fjordur will have a ARK'S considering that they own landmate with insulation buff? No, it's going to be a Lost Island thing only. 100%. That's going to be only to Lost Island, and also like you can stick your ARK'S up your ass. At least I hope all creatures exist in some form of Art 2. I think we will keep creatures like Manners and Ferox in Art 2, or should we expect a new roster of creatures? Again, dialing back to...
It's got to be new creatures as well.
Yeah,
I don't think we're going to see every creature from Ark added to Art 2. That's why they're asking. They're asking these questions not just for the fun of it, but they're trying to give you an idea that, actually, maybe not all creatures are going to return.
Yeah.
What are the creatures you do? And to give the dev team some ideas. Like, now is the perfect time to jump on forums. When you see the devs tweeting this kind of stuff, get on Twitter and tell them what you want to see in terms of 5 dinosaurs.
Absolutely. They're listening.
Yeah. So absolutely do that for sure.
SOTF, ever going to come back?
No.
Nah.
Not in a billion years.
It's done.
It's done.
Yeah.
Battle Royals are dying. There's not many that are running still. You're never going to break Fortnite or PUBG's grip on them. We've seen hyperspace rise and fall in the last few months from Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Division is going to have a Battle Royale style game in the future or some shizzle. That'll die quickly as well. There's no room for that. What I do hope is that they do have some different server types with Ark 2. Something that is a bit more... Yeah, imagine if you didn't actually have to craft anything, but it was based on kills. So you killed a player, that gave you currency to then unlock new items. So that is effectively I think, other games that.
Yeah, I'm sure they've already hinted at that because that's it. There was a concept work on somebody who did some stuff for Art 2, and you could see that the weapons had dinosaur related elements to them, like Rex teeth. Formed part of a spear, for instance. So it's a good possibility that could be the case.
Yeah, that would be good if it's just normal game as well. But like some different. It's got to be different. No more offline base raiding. Find some other ways to have dinosaurs versus dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Planned battles. Look at Conan Exiles and their timelines they have for organising PvP. It's not perfect, but there's got to be something different to just wait until people go offline before destroying them. That's the big one. We've got a special guest in here that we just spoke about earlier.
Oh, yeah?
Kudakos is in the stream.
Hello, mate. Hello, mate. Yeah. Hoping to get you on for a little interview soon.
What was you doing, What was you working on in the background to that picture that you tweeted earlier?
Oh, yeah. Reveal all. Was it a hidden detail or was it the trailer?
Or she's literally talking about the chairs.
Like
you put the chair together for someone to sit down at the conference.
More questions. Do you think we'll get a release date and platform for the animated series in June? Nah, I don't know. They've gone so quiet about the animated series.
No, I do. I think June will be the time.
Do you think? Do you think they will?
They're really leading into this June mega month. We are anyway. We're gonna clickbait it. Yeah, biggest month ever. June, the answers you've always wanted.
It already is. The title of this is that June is going to be the biggest month in ARK. I think I've called it whatever I called it. Yeah, so it's already baited. Serious question, Jade Ross. Do you think the wildcard would give us a swan song and give us everything as a thank you? Add all dinos to all maps, fast flyers, add Prim Plus items to base game from Aaron.
No. That takes so much dev time to do all that. They're not going to do that. Sorry. What they probably will do, they'll have a celebration. They'll do like an apocalypse event where maybe you get to get a unique skin. And I'm sure they'll do some sort of event where like the fireworks are in the sky for everyone. But they're not going to be doing stuff like that. They're not going to be adding all that. You can do all that on your custom servers. I mean, people say, well, why can't I have this and that? But you can add Primitive Plus items to the base game if you own your own server. You can look at the codes and do it. It's not that hard. You can find out ways to do it. So no, they're not going to do that.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Stop playing the Vin Diesel cutscene. It's giving me cringe trigger. I know, mate. He's bald bunts. I'm hoping Vin Diesel gets bitten in half within the first 20 minutes of the next game. And we just roll around following the daughter.
On that subject, yeah, I agree. You won't play as Vin Diesel in the game. Not a prayer. He's going to be your protagonist, the story you follow, like Helena's journey in ARK.
He's going to be the hologram that you come up to him after you've just lost your dinosaur, and he's like, "Hey, we're family. It's okay." And he'll give you coordinates for another T-Rex to go and tame.
Yeah. But yeah, like obviously just open to abuse. I mean, look at Keanu Reeves in that Matrix Unreal 5 thing. Yeah, people were like using him to perform sex acts, and although he did praise it, I just don't think Vin Diesel's going to be a big fan of being involved in digital sex acts himself, to be honest.
Wow.
So
who knows? I mean, yeah, he's too busy playing the game. He ain't got time for that. I ain't got nothing real for time. No, like I haven't got anything really wrong against Vin Diesel. I don't know. I just no. His face is awful. I ain't gonna lie. It's just awful. I can't look at it. No. But yeah. Right. That's
Moving
last
on.
questions. We're finishing off with
yeah.
my bit of news. So if you don't know, we're doing this on a weekly focus schedule.
Absolutely.
Next Wednesday, you're going to be on my channel.
We are.
And we're going to be talking about survival. We're going to be going over the contenders. Are there any games that could take ARK's crown as the biggest and best survival game?
Yeah. And it is, like, even from a fanboy's perspective myself, it's always worth keeping an eye out. Just because just understanding competition and, you know, what's hot out there, what other developers creating, evolving, and, you know, create, and what's the one I'm looking for? Innovating. You know, just keep your eye out there and see what else is out there to help influence ARK 2, really. You know, that's the game.
We're going to be discussing that. I'm going to be showing, I'll probably, you know what we'll do next Wednesday? We'll talk about the biggest contenders to ARK. What are the games that give ARK a run for its money?
Yeah.
What are the games that could be coming out that could be next big survival game? Because ARK is the biggest.
Yeah.
When you take into account the console viewers, the players, Rust is biggest on PC and has been for a while now. But when you combine the console fans, it really does make ARK a property. And ARK is more universally known. It's got TV shows, obviously. It's got much more going for it than Rust. But there could be pretenders to that throne soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And going forward as well, we are looking to bring on guests to interview, including Fjordur, who's in the chat. But yeah, so many people out there. I think Jade's on about
creators. We're going to get some game devs on my side. So when it's my week on my channel, we're going to get loads of game devs. I know indie ones that are going to come and say hello, or creators that just do other content. And then when it's on Raz's week, we're hoping to get a whole bunch of ARK creators, developers, and maybe some super fans, some super fans. How would one of you guys like to actually come and talk to us about ARK? That could be something we could do.
Yeah, without a doubt. So that's that. I think we wrapped up.
5 minutes. Should we do last few questions? Do you want to go?
Any more questions?
We'll go for it. We didn't start with your week though. Actually, how was your week?
Oh yeah,
we've been up to. We just went straight into it.
We wrote a list of notes, bullet points to go through, and we didn't even talk about ourselves and what we're up to. Me, myself, and I, top tens always, top tens every week. Top tens this week is best loot in Ark, and it turns out, orbital supply drops are a big win. Gen 2 drops normally are a big win. And cheers, by the way.
Spoilers.
Gen 2 drops, they do give out a lot of loot. I'm going to be writing all that up and getting that rolled out soon. Finishing off the Monarchy. Oh, crikey, that is a spoiler. Yeah, Last Island is... I've had a beer. Last Island is rolling out to its conclusion, and there's something's going to be happening there, so keep
no
an eye
more
on that.
Monarchy. You heard it here first. Folks. No more Monarchy.
The end of Monarchy is
no. He's not doing any Let's Play videos. He hates them all. Hates them. Bit more Dave. Wanker. Krabby. What a cow.
Oh no.
Hates them. Hates them. Heard it here, folks. Heard it here.
They're not even here to defend themselves. What about you, Jade?
No. I have been trying a competitor to Ark and realising it's a tough ground to take. I've been trying out Sky Climbers this week, which has you been able to get over 300 creatures, and you can evolve them into different forms like Pokemon. Sadly, the game is absolute jank. They released an alpha for it, and the alpha is so bad. It was really poor. So I'm hoping to see some other stuff. And getting back on Valheim, I've been enjoying that lately. And Core Keeper.
I've seen you raving about Core Keeper.
I'm loving the Core Keeper. It's an amazing game. So I've been on that. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, cool. That's it. Any more questions apart from human breeding in Ark 2? No.
We haven't got that in Atlas yet. That's meant to come to Atlas.
Was it meant to come to Atlas?
Yeah, it was the big deal was that you would take your generation. They showed off the babies for one of the extra live streams, and that it would take on traits of you, and you'd be able to have your own. You'd be able to have a new character, basically.
Crikey.
So I like the idea of that in a kind of way. Imagine if you did have, because that's the other thing. We're seeing a kid in these trailers.
Yeah.
So
valid point. I guess. Yeah. I'm going down a dark path. Let's pull it back. Yeah. Maybe. It's a delicate one to cover right, isn't it? We'll see how they do if they do that.
And Vin Diesel's about family, so if you can play his daughter in the game,
it certainly is. It certainly is.
That could be it. No, I don't think it'd be uproar if a dinosaur could chomp on a kid character. But maybe imagine you could have. Oh no, there's so many videos of bad stuff you could do with that. That's exactly why Skyrim don't have it.
Yeah, exactly.
That you can kill kids. No, we probably won't see that.
It's so delicate to handle. I can't see it happening personally. But we'll have to wait and see. And June, I think, is going to be the time to see. Me and Jade will be there on the digital floor, covering E3 as much as we possibly can to try and see if there's any snippet out there about Ark 2. So keep an eye on both of us. Make sure to go and subscribe to Jade. I've got his link in the description, and he will be, of course, hosting next week's. And we're going to rotate. So next week's Jade, the week after's me. Same time every Wednesday. Should be fun.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me. This is a good idea.
Yeah, it's your idea, I think.
It's been good. You're right, Bags. You're right. It was my idea. Exactly. It's a good idea. It's my idea. Of course, that's why it's a good idea.
But there we go. Thanks all for tuning in. Genuine, much love to everybody that's been involved, asking questions, and hope you enjoyed it. I will try and go back and leave timestamps throughout this so you can try and catch up.
Last thing, get a bit of engagement for your Twitter, right? Give them something to go and give you an idea. Go and tell Raz the dinosaur that has to be on Ark 2, right? So, Ark 2...
Spam me.
Spam Raz right now and he'll tweet some out saying what dinosaur has to be on Ark 2.
Yeah, great. Thanks for that.
That's your notifications ruined all night.
There you go. Well, that's Jade. My name is Ras Clark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, peace out.